Hey guys, happy Friday. We are here, 6:05, waking you up, St. Louis, Arch City now. Vic Faust here. Producer Ray. Ray. Glad you're here, my friends. St. Louis, let's get it going. If you want to give us a call, you can, 855-282-8255. Glad you're with us. We are the Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. It's September 26th. It feels like Sunday and like the next 7 or 8 days. If you thought fall was here, think again. Now, throughout the St. Louis area, it got cold last night. Literally, it got like in the 50s. I have no idea what's going on. Signs of fall, I guess, but we're going to heat up quickly today. 82 for the high. Sunny, absolutely gorgeous, comfortable, beautiful. And it's supposed to be like that all weekend, 84. I mean, I think get into the mid-80s next week. Some of you may like that. Some of you may not. But it is St. Louis. It's where we are now. And we just go with the flow. Lots of things to do this weekend. As always, jump in with us. Let us know what you guys got going on. Of course, we like to talk St. Louis. We talk it over with you guys on a variety of places. We just want to get through the weekend, get through the day. It is Friday, time to have a good time. And of course, if there's something going on this weekend that we don't know about, let us know. Let us know what's going on. That way, we can put it out there. You can also jump in on the account. You can jump in where we are at YouTube. Talk it over with us there. You can also jump in on X at Arch City Now. Once again, that's Arch City Now. Thanks for joining us today. And of course, as always, we're here. Coming up over the weekend, Cardinals playing their last series of the season. They're in Chicago to take on the Cubs. Go Cardinals. You know what? It'd be nice for them. Just finish 81-81. Sweep the Cubs. And it's almost like I won't say the expletive, but it's almost like somebody said at that for the 2025 season. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. We are St. Louis all the time. The stories around St. Louis, the things that are making news. Yeah, right. I like that. Something like that. Yeah. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
When I working. You can watch us from a podcast standpoint. You can listen to us, of course, KLIS 590 AM, broadcasting live from the Kirkwood Studios, the J. Randolph Jr. Studios. As I like to say, dark 30. No sun yet, but it's going to be shining today. Looks like a glorious weekend. Lots of things going on. Cubs cards from Wrigley. We talked about that. Ryder Cup. A few minutes. Ryder Cup kicking off at Bethpage Black in New York. Who is kicking off? Let me see here really quick. I had it up here. Let me see. I had it up. Oh, I lost it. I'll have to pull that back up. Who was leading off for the Americans this morning? I accidentally deleted it. It's all right. It's all good. It's okay. We'll figure it out here. So golf going on. Ryder Cup, always an exciting time. I covered a Ryder Cup back in 2004, my friend, in Detroit. It was freezing cold, and the Europeans kicked our arse. And I was like, okay, wonderful. I remember thinking it's too damn cold for September. And I was like, and then the Americans were getting just crushed, but it is what it is. We're going to have a good day, good time, of course. Hot Take Central 2.0 comes up at 8 o'clock. And when it comes to everything sports, there's a lot of it going on this weekend, but it's time to enjoy. We've also got Mizzou homecoming this weekend. So when it comes to the Mizzou standpoint of things, you can talk about Mizzou. Are you headed to the game? Are you going to be in Columbia this weekend? If you are, would love to hear that. Do you go all the time? Just keep us posted. Let us know. We talk about those things. The other thing, when it comes to this Ryder Cup this morning, Justin Thomas and Bryson DeChambeau are kicking off the golf. Yesterday, Bryson, he's become a pretty popular golfer, very, very well known. Music was pumping and blaring during some practice rounds. He was dancing around trying to get the crowd going, and he's going to try to get the team going as they tee off 6:10 a.m. 6:10 a.m. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. Scotty Scheffler and Russell Henry teeing off second this morning. So some big guns for the Americans coming right out of the gate, trying to set the stage early against the European team. And, of course, there's a lot of golf fans throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. That's why we're talking about it. Thank you for being with us this morning. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show. Where am I at here? Okay, there we go. Okay, 6/11, September 26th. These things going on. Okay, also, not only Mizzou with homecoming, high school football last night. We can touch back on that. Some local teams playing a big high school football Friday night throughout the Lou area as well. NFL action last night. I don't play the game, 52-yard field goal. The Seahawks beat the Cardinals. They were favored by 1.5. They took care of business from that standpoint. Exciting game there. Chiefs host the Ravens on Sunday. A must-win for both teams, both 1 and 2 now. Also this weekend, we love to hear about things that are going on, and that's why we love it when you guys, you can give us a call, 855-282-8255, 855-282-8255, or you can also jump in on YouTube, talk to us there, or on Twitter. Or X. You can find us there, Arch City Now. Once again, that's Arch City Now. Jump in. Let's talk. We'll have a good time from that standpoint. Talk about Evolution Fest going on. Also, other big news stories today. DEA with a massive bust, kind of like a Netflix series, the Sonoma Cartel. Massive drug case bust throughout the St. Louis area, the amount of drugs coming into the St. Louis area. Get into some of the specifics of that. It's in every city. It is what it is. That's why there's a DEA in charge of that. If you haven't felt very well lately, sinuses, mold is at one of the all-time highs in St. Louis right now. Ragweed, a certain type of pollen, that'll affect you big time. A couple people in my life been struggling. I was like, yep, you allergic to that? Yep, no doubt. These are the things that can happen. I've always said this too, and yes, you need to watch and be careful about the water that you drink. Collinsville has some of those PFAs. They've even announced that they're telling people you need to filter your water. Do not drink tap water. If you study water, you'll realize what happens with fluoride in tap water. And I know it sounds crazy, and people are like, oh, if you study it and look at it, even getting into Robert Kennedy Jr. wanting to eliminate fluoride, you should not be drinking tap water, period. You shouldn't. I know. It sucks, but it's a reality. And if you want to call in and debate that, we'll debate that. But it's something I've studied a lot in my life. You really need to be checking the water that you drink and putting in your body. And in Collinsville, they're telling people you need to filter your water now because the PFAs, the forever chemicals that get involved, that just get to the water. They're not even talking about it from a standpoint of fluoride. It's from the PFA standpoint. So that's a serious situation over in Collinsville. Also, a historic day today in St. Louis City. Historic. The opening of NGA, the largest investment in the history of St. Louis City. We'll get into that as well. The governmental agency. So much has gone into it. It's taken so much long. And it's a very positive moment. But the other not so positive moment about the NGA is the fact that the NGA West headquarters was supposed to improve all the neighborhoods around, and that has not happened yet. And that needs to be called out. And, maybe it takes a little time for development and people to invest in the area. but it is a reality. It just hasn't happened yet. We'll get into that too. So lots of topics. It's a free for all Friday. Anything goes, all St. Louis, all the time. That's what we try to get into. Also, 15 famous fast food places that are really struggling. At one point in time, remember Jared, who he represented, Rye? Remember Jared?
Subway. Oh, I know Subway's going down. I haven't had Subway in
I haven't either.
I haven't had Subway in a minute because there's so many better sandwich places.
You already hit it right, and we'll get into it. The fact that people are willing to pay more.
Yes.
Because you can go places and get much better subs, allegedly, than Subway, and pay a little more because you're going to.
Yeah.
But that's, excuse me, one of the 15. You exactly know who Jared was.
Yeah.
And you think about it, it's like, are we going to Subway? Do people still go to Subway? And it's all about looking at the ingredients and what's real and what's not processed, if at all possible.
And I just have a lot of personal, things going on with Subway because I feel like every time I order Subway, their customer service is bad as well.
Really?
Yeah. Late night Subway, bad customer service. And even when it's just 8:00 at night, just get off work or something, bad customer service.
And you remember that.
Yeah, I remember it.
And that's the key. It's like, okay, what do we got going on here? All right. Are we? Okay, we see. So another thing that we'll talk about, like I said, lots going on all throughout the St. Louis area, lots of topics that we can get into, whatever you guys want to. You can jump in on X, Arch City Now. You can jump in on YouTube, Arch City Now. And of course, we'll get into all of these things that are happening all throughout the St. Louis area. By the way, tomorrow and Sunday, and the weather's going to be fantastic for it as well, Evolution Fest. At 7:40, about 7:40, 7:45, we will talk with the director's statement. About 40 different bands. Going to be in 3 stages over in the Forest Park area, all day tomorrow, all day Sunday. The headliner for tomorrow is Sublime. The headliner on Sunday, Lenny Kravitz. Lot of acts. And not only is it such a huge, huge deal when it comes to bringing this sort of a musical event to town, but what they're doing, the organizers, Steve and his organizers from Evolution Fest, is they're donating $100,000 of the proceeds to the United Way of St. Louis to help out tornado victims and the massive issues and problems that so many people still face when it comes to cleanup, when it comes to basic necessities, shelter, food, bills, you name it. So not only is it a top-notch weekend concert music fest, Evolution Fest, it's also giving back to the St. Louis area. A win-win all the way around. So if you haven't gotten tickets or you want to check it out, or if you want to buy tickets and give to a good cause, but you can't do it and give the tickets away, that's another opportunity. Evolutionfest.com, evolutionfest.com. We will have Steve on live to talk about that and promote the weekend's events coming up at about 7:40, 7:45 from that standpoint as well. Anything else you guys want to throw into the mix? We'll take that from you as well. Glad you're with us as always as we kickstart the weekend. And let us know. You want to promote somebody. You want to promote an event. You want to give the shout outs. Some of the scores I know from high school last night. Ladue, I saw Ladue. I think they beat up on Hazelwood West last night. That was supposed to happen. Parkway North down Hazelwood East in a very tight football game. I think that was 31-30. So they lost. Then you had, and I didn't see the other local game from last night, St. Charles West and Warrenton. I think Warrenton ended up winning that one. So congrats to them. And then, of course, there's only 71 high school football games scheduled across the St. Louis metro area tonight. Just a few. A big one over at SLU tonight, Lift for Life Academy. They're 3-1. Playing SLU, who's 4-0. SLU looking really good so far. That's a big game. And
I
then
like, I like SLU. I went to SLU for 1 year.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I went to SLU for 1 year, and then
They got some talent. They got some talent on that team, man.
This may be their most talented team in a few years.
And it's too bad that CBC is even more talented right now. And I don't have a horse in that race. I just
I just like SLU's quarterback. I haven't seen a quarterback built like that, just run around swinging it, man. They can't take him down.
I know. He reminds me of a quarterback that played at Kentucky back in the day.
Yeah.
Jared Lorenzen.
Yep.
The round mound of touchdown. And I'm not calling him the round mound of touchdown. He just reminds me because he's a bigger dude.
Yeah, but
that can flat out sling it.
Like
he can. I've watched him play. I was very involved in the high school football scene. Used to coach. My last line of kids that I coached are seniors this year now. So I coached Little League football for a long time in the St. Louis area. So the last group I've coached for about 8-9 years of kids. This is the last year of kids that I coached up to the 8th grade who are now going to be seniors.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of those kids I've seen play over the years, and he's one of them. And he's a darn good player. He really is.
I love St. Louis high school sports. I think
we have great high school sports.
I think it's some of the best in the country, and it's an unfound gem.
And not just high school football, which we're talking about now.
All the sports.
All of them. I mean, volleyball, swimming, track, you name it. So that, of course, soccer, Dove. Heck, you've got over at I can't think of her name right now. Over at Koryezu, who's considered to be the best young women's soccer player in the country. She won the national Gatorade Player of the Year award last year.
Mm-hmm.
She's only a sophomore. They're going to win. I mean, just phenomenal. So yeah, we got a lot of those things going on. A couple of the big games. The Battle of the Lutherans, Lutheran South, Lutheran North tonight. But those are some of the games. If you want to promote somebody, you want to talk about what you have going on, who's playing who, like we said, and it doesn't even have to be a football player. It can be somebody else that, in the band or whatever, if you're involved with the school. Another big crucial game tonight, Francis Howell over at Fort Zumwalt West. Then you've got Fort Zumwalt North 3-1 taking on Liberty's 3-1. That's a big game. And then if I didn't already have plans, I would be out watching Kirkwood, who's 3-1, taking on undefeated Eureka. 3-1 Kirkwood out at Eureka 4-0. That'll be a big time game. So lots of good games across the area. And of course, you've got East St. Louis tomorrow night, 7:00. Who do the Flyers play tomorrow night?
We play. Yes, sir. I'm producing the play-by-play with Maurice Scott tonight. East side, we play Alton. I'm not Alton. We play Belleville West tonight.
Oh, it's tonight.
Yes,
I thought it was tomorrow night. Tonight.
We play them tonight at 7 p.m. It's at East side, and I expect them to be 500 tonight because they're playing their conference now.
Yep.
So.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
All right. We appreciate that. So jumping on the show, whatever you guys want to get going, it's all St. Louis all the time. You can find us on YouTube right now, Arch City Now, and X at Arch City Now. If you get your comments in, we'll try to get them public from that standpoint. We're watching that as well. What else is happening this weekend? We're here for you guys. You let us know what you want to do. We'll get it in. We'll talk about it. There's so much going on, as it always does. And as I look right now, it appears that they have begun the Ryder Cup. And I'm looking at it the Ryder Cup leaderboard right now. So I think they have now teed off. They have teed off. And yeah, it was supposed to be at 6:10. And I was looking for some coverage. We'll find that coming up here as well. The president, Donald Trump, going to be out there at Bethpage Black as well this weekend, supporting the American golf team. And let's just be real. I mean, they've got so many more good golfers. I know anything can happen in these Ryder Cups. They should win this. And I know it's like anything can happen, Vic. No, when you look at straight talent, top to bottom, the Americans should win this, which means I'm saying they better win this or we're going to have some issues that are going on. So wherever you guys want to go, whatever you guys want to talk about, we'll do that. What else is happening today or this weekend? Throughout the St. Louis area, a lot of homecomings for high school as well. Might take you back. Remember, has homecoming changed in any way? There's dances that are going on. You got football games. You got all these things that are happening. Mizzou has its homecoming. Haven't even talked about Mizzou yet. Mizzou hosting UMass. All right, that's the 6:30 game, but it's everything that happens throughout the day in Columbia, the birthplace of homecoming nationally. It was before a football game, playing Kansas. That homecoming was invented. And yes, it is Missouri's homecoming deal. It all started right there. So are you headed to the game? It'll be a beautiful day in Columbia if you are. That's going to be the good point. The good point is that the football game, maybe not so much, but that's all right. Missouri getting ready because after they play UMass tomorrow night, they got a bye week. And then it's hosting Alabama. And of course, we told you yesterday, CBS Sportsline has Missouri as the 8th best odds right now to get into that field, the playoff field. 8th best odds, even ahead of Alabama, which means they're thinking Mizzou would be a favorite or would beat Alabama. We'll see where that's when they come and gets to play. Where do you guys want to jump in with us today? Big show. By the way, if you want to check out our lineup of all the shows that we have here, KLIS, it's luinfo.com. Once again, that's luinfo.com. We're Arch City now. Of course, Cam Jansen, the former Blue, and Jim Hayes. Follow us every day from 8 to 10 o'clock. And then from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock today, Grant Salzman has the MIZ STL show as well, kickstarting the weekend, a homecoming, Missouri, SEC action, you name it. You're not going to find a better, more involved week when it comes to Mizzou broadcasting anywhere in the St. Louis metropolitan area. We do it better. We do it best. It's the content, it's the interviews, and of course, it's the entertainment regarding Missouri football, Missouri sports, and all the other things that are happening. So we appreciate it. Jump in on the show. Let's talk. Let's get this going today. The sun's starting to rise in St. Louis. Going to be a beautiful weather day. Enjoy it. Tell you what, it's also an incredible morning to get outside if you can. It's still kind of cool, and it's going to be sunny and warm. But right now, it is very, very nice. Very nice. Let's start the day off. That's why we're here. Get the set right all day long, all the time in the Lou. We are your Lou information station. We're live and on demand at luinfo.com. If you want to give us a call, you can do that as well. Once again, the phone number, 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. If there's something else going on this weekend, let us know. We talk about the Evolution Fest. There's also concerts every night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, out at the factory in Chesterfield. Last week it was Balloon Glow. So we do week after week of activities and things that are going on. So it's easy to forget something, but we're here to help you guys. You keep us posted on all that's coming on. Right. Quick break. First one. Again, all those things going on, can jump into it. Wherever you guys want to go with that, we'll jump in. We'll start talking. See when we come back. It's in our information station. We're live and on demand at luinfo.com. Rise with us today. You're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. I can tell. You're ready to rock and roll.
Yes, sir.
How do you don't
Friday.
But you don't sleep, do you?
I got some decent amount of sleep last night.
No, I know better, man.
And
you're a young
and I worked out before I went to sleep too.
Okay, there you go.
And that works because if I work out right when I get off work, I'll be like up playing the game. So yeah.
That's Ryan. I'm Vic Faust. It's Arch City now. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. This is your Lou information station, live and on demand at luinfo.com. We are Arch City now. I'm Vic Faust, producer Ryan alongside as well. 6:35. It's September 26th. Well, it's September. It's officially fall, but the weather says otherwise. 82 and sunny today. And I was looking at the long range forecast, my friend Ryan, and it's mid 80s, like for the next 7 days, and a lot of sunshine.
I knew I shouldn't have wore a hoodie.
No, you know why you can wear a hoodie?
Why?
Because if you work early morning radio, TV jobs, it's always a little cooler in the morning. And when it's the fall, the heat that we have, it's different.
Yeah.
Like this morning,
It felt so good.
it was like 58 degrees. I mean, it's like, what? We're at 58 degrees, so you're fine with the hoodie. And there's something about working in radio that people wear hoodies. It's a hoodie. It's like a blanket. It's a comfortable blanket.
Exactly.
It's exactly what it is, and it's cool. It's all good from that standpoint. Also, jumping on the show, you can get us on X and YouTube right now. We told you more of these platforms will be available for you to jump in and take us in, whatever's most comfortable to you from that standpoint. We love it when you guys get involved in the show as well. Making sure that we're promoting St. Louis all the way we can. You're always invited. Your comments, we get them out there as well. You can give us a call, 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. Coming up just over an hour from now, we'll be talking with the director of the Evolution Fest, Steve Shankman. Just love Steve. Does so much for St. Louis, and he has for so long. We'll tell you about how you can help him give back to St. Louis, in addition to enjoying a fantastic weekend of music. 3 stages, I don't know, 40 acts, maybe something like that. Sublime, the headliner tomorrow night over in the Forest Park area. Then Sunday, Lenny Kravitz, all here in St. Louis. And it's all for a great cause as well. So we'll talk things over with Steve coming up later in the show. Cardinals beginning a weekend series, their last one of the year in Chicago with the Cubs. Also, you've also got Mizzou homecoming tomorrow. You've got high school football tonight. There's concerts elsewhere in the area. Anything else we might be missing, you guys let us know. Not sure if anybody stayed up to watch it last night, but the NFL, whether they're scripting their games, as people like to say from a conspiracy standpoint, or at least the primetime ones, 3 weeks into the season, now this is the beginning of the 4th, there's been some really, really good games. I mean, really good games. So whatever they're doing, keep it up. There's really no dominant team in the NFL. You got the Bills, kind of, but the Bills still haven't done anything in the playoffs where we're like, okay, they are the team. Chiefs have come back to the pack. Yeah, the Eagles are undefeated, but they don't look dominant. I mean, you've got teams with one loss that look as dominant as teams that haven't done anything. I mean, you've got the Bucs are undefeated. The 49ers with no quarterback are undefeated. I don't know. It's just been exciting. Last night, another one of those games. Seattle, on the final play of the game, kicks a 52-yard field goal to beat the Cardinals, and it was a pretty darn good game. Cardinals came back in that contest. So, it's exciting. You got a weekend. It's about, I don't know. I just know that I'm enjoying the football that's coming up. So, high school football tonight. You had some high school football last night. Ryder Cup has kicked off right now. Ryder Cup is underway out of Bethpage Black. It's going to be a big weekend of golf, or at least we're hoping it would be, because what you have right now, literally after one hole this morning, Justin Thomas and Bryson DeChambeau are one up after one hole. That's what you want to do. Get it kick-started and just blow the Europeans out from the get-go. This is the Europeans' Super Bowl of everything. So it is what it is. Okay. It affects me a little bit. I don't know if it affects you. We cover all St. Louis all the time. St. Louis, what's happening, entertainment, food, water cooler talk, health, you name it. Anything you want to throw in, especially on a free-for-all Friday. But mold counts in the St. Louis area reach their highest level of the year. And if you have allergies, if you don't feel quite well, it could be because of the mold count. You may know that, yeah, I have issues with mold. And if you don't, you're not feeling well, if you can get yourself checked out, check it out. The highest mold count hit yesterday in the St. Louis area. It's also, it's the recent rains that we had as the fall season begins, followed by warm up, which is what we have right now. And if you didn't know, some of the areas got hit with rain again last night, overnight. So the spike in mold can be caused by that, the rains and the warm weather in the fall area. And then before you know it, boom, we're getting hit. Runny noses, nasal congestion, spike in sneezing, itchy eyes, nose, and ears. And anybody that suffers with it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And just because you weren't allergic to mold in the past doesn't mean it can't hit. Things can change. You can develop things. How would I know? Well, because it happened to me. That's why. So you might want to get yourself checked out. No need to go through life with that. It just hit St. Louis. Mold. Freaking nasty mold hitting us all throughout. Are you sneezing over there? Or was that a cough?
That was a sneeze.
Are you serious? Right on cue. Right on cue.
That's what just scared me.
That's producer Rye over there talking about, what we have going on there. Hitting some news headlines right now, as well, things that are happening throughout the St. Louis area. I saw this story last night, and I was like, whoa. And it happens in every city, and it may sound like it's a Netflix series or something coming to Prime, but 26 people now indicted in federal court, accused of being part of the Sinaloa cartel drug pipeline straight from Mexico right to the St. Louis region. The DEA said that they began this case back in 2021. You're talking about a 4-year case. And they didn't stop with the arrest of one man from the O'Fallon, Missouri, Illinois area. They kept looking. And that's what happened. So throughout the investigation, DEA local says they seized 800 pounds of fentanyl. 800 pounds during this investigation. And if you don't know how serious fentanyl is, look it up. First time I did a story on fentanyl in my life, right? We literally went into DEA headquarters and we had to be in protective gear. And it's in a case because of how serious this stuff is. And well, that's another issue. We talk about marijuana and how popular marijuana is in the state of Missouri since becoming legal recreational. You better know where you're getting your marijuana if you're doing it, because if you don't, things can be laced with all kinds of things.
Exactly. And that's what I've heard from a lot of people just around, that you need to go to a dispo that you could trust. Please don't just go on the street.
One thing, if things don't take your life, they can also get you addicted to things that you never anticipated before too. And then all of a sudden your body's craving something that it never would have had you known what you put in your body the first time. It can be some dangerous stuff. This is all part of that investigation when it came to the DEA. So I talk about 800 pounds of fentanyl just coming into the St. Louis area, 150 pounds of methamphetamine, and 100 pounds of cocaine. 500 or 800 pounds of fentanyl, 150 pounds of methamphetamine, and 100 pounds of cocaine. So this has been a major, major deal for the DEA. I know some DEA guys. They're friends of mine. They give me stories. They tell me some of the things that are going on. You can talk about some of the things, other things you can't. But there is an uptick when it comes to a national effort to go after the drug cartels. And I think you've heard it from the White House coming out as well. So what you're talking about, according to the DEA, when you look at fentanyl, 800 pounds of fentanyl, you know what that breaks out to? This is what's bizarre. 200 million lethal doses of fentanyl, 800 pounds. 200 million lethal doses.
That's why it's a crisis.
So this is a major bust. That's why the DEA talked about it. That's why they made the announcement. They said that the indictment is a significant blow to the Sinaloa cartel, their infrastructure that they've been working on for 4 years. As they said, it's the president's mission of dismantling and destroying the cartels once and for all. That coming from a statement from the U.S. Attorney General, Pam Bondi. So it's a big deal in St. Louis. You hear about these things happening across the country. But the other part of this whole situation, so they worked with DEA, HSI, RIS, the U.S. Postal Inspection Services, and the U.S. Marshals. So it was a big sting all the way around, 4 years. They also said that 15 of the 26 suspects are in custody. That's another huge deal. So they said the suspects live all across the country, not just in St. Louis, all across the country, and include Mexican nationals as well. So we'll see if anything else happens, but they made that big announcement in the St. Louis area. And I mean, literally the suspects all around the country, So DA still doing the best that they can from that standpoint when it comes to these massive breakdowns. And the other thing is you hear about things and you see things, and it's another reason, even as parents, it's become more that's why you got to talk to your kids. You do. As you were just talking about, Ryan, you got to talk to your friends too about most people who are smoking marijuana for whatever reasons, recreational, medicinal. No, you where you need to get your stuff. Just be careful, because those stories are certainly reminders of some of the stuff that's going on right now. Don't need it. Don't want to stick with it. Be careful. That's for sure, because you just never, ever know.
Yeah, I'm more nervous for the people who are under the legal age who just can't go to a dispo and get what they need. And it's just scary because that's who they'll prey on. So
yeah, absolutely. It'll put you at a disadvantage. And, I mean, I kind of laugh at it. I'm like, yeah, it'll put you at a disadvantage. And then you get desperate and you're like, okay, let's go do this. Let's go do that. Some of the news headlines that we're talking about on a Friday. Also, our water supply. Forever chemicals are serious, and it's not that great. And people go, oh, Vic, no, I've studied water. I studied water. I used to rep with a water company of filtering your water. City of Collinsville is now telling residents they need to filter their tap water before drinking it or cooking because of rising levels of forever chemicals. I'm saying you should do it regardless. You shouldn't be drinking straight tap water. You shouldn't. Oh, Vic, you're crazy. Well, not even for the forever chemicals. I'm talking about the fluoride. If you don't believe me, you can contact me off air, victorjfaust@gmail.com. We'll talk about that. So the EPA issued a formal notice to Collinsville utility customers after lab testing found that certain PFAs, the compounds, exceeded the state's literally allowable groundwater standards. It's a big deal, and it's been going on for a while. So the full removal of those PFAs, it takes time. They're talking about the year 2029. So just be careful. Get a good filtering system. You can find them fairly cheap. There's other systems that are far better too that can help you with your home as well. But literally, you think water is one of the best things you can drink for yourself, but you don't want to put things into your body that'll make you feel tired. You're wondering, why am I tired? Why don't I feel like I can do this? Why is my skin looking the way it is? Yeah, all those things can happen. They are real. It is not hype. You need to be careful about the water that you're putting into your body. We talked about a big historic day in the city of St. Louis. The new National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, the NGA West Campus in North St. Louis, it's going to hold their opening ceremony today. It's going to be at 10 a.m. Located on Jefferson, right at Cass, in the St. Louis Place neighborhood. I mean, we're talking, if you forgot, the largest federal investment in St. Louis in history. $1.7 billion project spanning 97 acres. The NGA, by the way, plays a serious role when it comes to U.S. military intelligence, analyzing and interpreting satellite imagery, maps, other location-based data to support military operations. Getting it in St. Louis was big. And the other thing about it is it was supposed to help the surrounding communities. And we're talking about 3,000 workers coming to the St. Louis area, relocating. You know, they were moving over from the location near Anheuser-Busch and Soulard. It's operated there for years, and this is a much larger construction project. And the headquarters, the construction on it began in 2019. So these are the good parts of it. The other part is, it's like, wait a second. It was supposed to provide neighborhoods a jolt, but we still haven't seen that yet. Some local area business owners believe it'll just take a little bit of time, but you want to see that. I remember doing stories on this where, it's going to help that area, but we haven't seen it really do that yet. Not in a large way, not like it should. And we're certainly hoping that we will start to see that happen in the area because, you know, you've just got to see something a little bit more. I don't know. It was supposed to keep up. We've seen the building go up, but the neighborhoods haven't kept. And I'm talking about St. Louis Place, clearly. You got the Vanderloo neighborhood, Carr Square, Columbus Square, Old North St. Louis, and then, of course, Hyde Park. And I get that some businesses and investors may not have wanted to put money in first, maybe make sure that this project's going to work and see. You just hope that, there's, improvements, sidewalks, road repavements, bike paths, all of those things that are down there. And then, of course, you had the tornadoes not far from there where that hit and kind of hit the area really bad as well. So, Otis Williams has been down working on that project from the get-go, and they say that there's a growth development for the future of St. Louis. We want to see it. I mean, it could be a huge, huge deal for our area to help generate and get rid of blight. But right now, we haven't seen a whole lot of it yet. There were a lot of complications at first where people's homes were being bought out. You heard the term eminent domain. Now you just want to see that there's a whole new redeveloped north side that you can carry into the future. So grand opening today at 10 o'clock. Want to focus more on the positive, but at the same point in time, trying to hold people accountable for what's going on in the area, trying to get people back up and moving in the areas. There's so much money being invested into the St. Louis area. You want to make the most of it. If you have that money, you want to utilize it and put it in to something that would really work and be something very, very good for the future. Through 3 holes, Justin Thomas, Bryson DeChambeau up 1. The second group, which was good through 2 holes, Scotty Scheffler, the best golfer in the world, going out early as well today, out at Bethpage Black in New York. Ludwig Aberg and Matt Fitzpatrick is who Russell Henley and Scotty Scheffler are playing. They're through 2 holes as they get moving this morning. Coming up, playing their first hole right now, Harris English, Colin Morikawa taking on a very good Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood team. That'll be another interesting one to watch. And then in the fourth pairing, which could be very, very interesting, Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele against Robert McIntyre and Victor Hovland. So we'll keep up to date on that and those scores coming in from Ryder Cup as they get kicked off at Bethpage Black. Big deal. Even the president, who loves golf, will be out there today trying to rally the American troops, to rally the teams that are out there as well. We're rolling and we move fast. We've got just about an hour down from that standpoint. Coming up in our next hour, we can talk about the Cardinals Cubs, their final weekend. High school football, you want to throw out some shout outs, some big matchups today. There were some games last night as well. Missouri homecoming. You've got the NFL weekend. College football's tomorrow. The Chiefs with a huge weekend. A lot of Chiefs fans in the area as they host the Ravens in a 1-2 battle of each team. So must win situation. Who would have thought 4 weeks into the year, either the Raiders or the Chiefs, or excuse me, the Ravens or the Chiefs would be 1-3. One of those two teams is going to be 1-3 after 4 weeks. We're also talking live with the director of the Evolution Fest, Steve Shankman. Massive concert weekend in the Forest Park area. 3 stages. Concerts all day long tomorrow. Music all day long tomorrow and Sunday. We'll talk things over with Steve coming up at about 7:40, 7:45 to promote the weekend. Make sure you get your tickets. And, of course, remind you how everything gives back to the St. Louis area. Anything else you guys want to jump in and talk about, we will do that as well. You can jump in on YouTube. We'll get your comments out there, or you can jump in on X at Arch City Now. And, of course, if you want to give us a call, you can do that as well. The phone number is 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. All of these things going on. If you want to touch in on the news stories, we can do that as well that we were bringing up, add anything else. And, of course, give out your shout outs for events that are going on this weekend, businesses, people, charities. We do it all right here, Art City Now, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m., ready to rock and roll with you guys. All right, we are your Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at luinfo.com. I'm Vic Faust, producer Rye alongside. Back with more of the show right after this.
This is Mizzou wide receiver Kevin Coleman Jr. And I'm Mizzou
Hey, happy Friday, St. Louis. We are live broadcasting from the J. Randolph Studios in Kirkwood, Missouri. Vic Faust here with Arch City Now, producer Rye alongside. Glad you're with us. Let's have an amazing weekend. September 26th, the time, 7:05. How about the weather today and this weekend? And pretty much for the next 8 days. 80s. I don't know if you like it or not, but it is here. It's comfortable. It'll be warm. It is fall. So wear your hoodies in the morning time, but I don't know about in the afternoon. It depends if you're inside somewhere cold. So we're here. We take you to 8 o'clock today. Hot Take Central 2.0 with the former St. Louis Blue Cam Jansen and Jim the Cat Hayes. Really, really good show if you haven't checked it out. Lots of entertainment, lots of fun all the time, lots of insight, terrific interviews as well. They're here 8 to 10, Monday through Friday. By the way, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today's Friday. At 10 o'clock, Grant Salzman with the MIZ STL show. All things Mizzou, all the time. That's a show that I do with Grant on Mondays, but it's Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 10 to 11 o'clock. You're not going to find better Mizzou coverage in the St. Louis area when it comes to all the sports and everything happening. MIZ, Black and Gold. Check it out, the content, the interviews, and, of course, the entertainment. And if you're interested in finding out more about all of the programming here and you're not yet familiarized, just go to luinfo.com. Once again, that's luinfo.com, and you can learn about all of the shows, the programming, the niche programming that we have, not only for 590, but of course, we also have podcasts. Some of us are live on podcast as well. Like myself, you can watch us right now on YouTube as well, and you can also watch us on X. Jump in, join the show live. Give us your comments. We'll get that out there. Appreciate when you guys jump in the show and participate. Also, if there are things going on throughout the St. Louis area this weekend, let us know. If you want to give shout outs to anybody, anything, schools, teams, businesses, charities, do it. Let us know. We'll get it out there. If there's stories that we need to cover, let us know. This is all about promoting St. Louis as best as we possibly can and shining a light on it as best as we possibly can as well. Like I said, it's a beautiful morning. Still a little, I don't want to say chilly, but maybe a little bit on the cooler side before we warm up later in the day. So enjoy it. These mornings are terrific. St. Louis fall mornings as we continue to cover all things St. Louis all the time right here. Things that are happening, things that are going on. By the way, also coming up at about 7:45, we will be talking things over live with Steve Shankman. He is one of the directors of the Evolution Fest happening tomorrow, all day Sunday. Sublime headliner tomorrow night. 3 stages with concert musics continuously. And then on Sunday, Lenny Kravitz, the headliner in the evening. So terrific weekend of music showcasing what St. Louis does. And we already know when St. Louis does something, we do it well. So it should be a terrific weekend of music. We'll talk with Steve about not only what your tickets do and getting you your purchase and tickets to get you, access, but also how it's helping and giving back as well to people in the St. Louis area who need it. So thank you for getting involved with us and being a part of that. 7:09 is the time. Cards and Cubs this weekend. What looked like it could be a really entertaining series at the beginning of the year, we know is now kind of turned into a dud. It's all right, to be honest. You don't want to overhype something. There's just no hype with that. There's nothing. Nada. Nothing going on. Most exciting thing with the Cardinals these days is the players they have in AA. Of course, as we talked about, winning the Texas League, the Springfield Cardinals dominated. We had at least 5 prospects who look to be top-notch players, or could be, in their organization, led by J.J. Weatherholt. Of course, his name has been brought up quite a bit. So that's the best thing that we have going on with the Cardinals this weekend. And I don't know. I don't know if baseball just seems like it's kind of because the Cardinals are kind of or if that's kind of a national trend. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that. We came back. We were talking about Mizzou. Homecoming weekend. Homecoming beginning at the University of Missouri, the whole concept of homecoming. They host UMass tomorrow night. The line's not quite 50. I wouldn't be surprised if that line got all the way up to 50 points before the start of the game. Mizzou just looking to stay healthy, keep everything as fine-tuned as possible, get their win, go into a bye week, and then host Alabama in 2 weeks, which should be a whole lot of fun. But the day itself, when it comes to homecoming, as we said, the weather will be terrific. There's a lot of festivities all throughout the day. Columbia now getting its due from even SEC broadcasters. College Game Day was here and said it was probably the loudest, Paul Feinbaum, the loudest venue that they had been to when it came to the excitement for their pregame shows. You have other SEC broadcasters coming to town going, wow, we had no idea Mizzou does it this well. Yeah, they do. It is legit top-notch SEC now. And that's because of all the Mizzou faithful who go to the game. So homecoming in Mizzou, are you going? If so, what's happening with your weekend? What else are you guys up to this weekend? We talk about some of the things that are going on. If there's something that we've missed, let us know as well. We'd like to get that information out there. We also like to make sure that you guys are aware of the things that are happening. We want to know what's going on as well. Seahawks on the final play of the game last night. Big kick, 52 yards. The kicker was doing smelling salts before he kicked. I've never seen a kicker do smelling salts, but hey, more power to you, whatever jacks you up. Producer Ryan, maybe we should do some smelling salts before we do the shows. Might be a little bit more in tune. Might be a little bit better. Anyway, Seahawks beat the Cardinals. Final score there, 23-20. Seahawks, just like that, 3-1. Cardinals fall to 2-2. Speaking of the NFL, with all the Chief fans throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area, they host the Ravens in a big game coming up Sunday at Arrowhead. One of those two teams, the Ravens or Chiefs, are going to be 1-3 to start the season. That's a big deal. That's a big deal because I don't think anybody would have saw or thought the Chiefs or Ravens would be 1-3 after the first 4 games of the year. But that has become a reality for many people. So, yeah, it is what it is there. Yeah. So that's going on. High school football last night. You've got high school football tonight. Some big games. First of all, last night, Ladue, they blew out Hazelwood West. How about Parkway North beat Hazelwood East by a point? I think that was 31-30. Tight game over there as well, for what you saw. And then looked like Warrenton got past St. Charles West. You've got 71 games tonight. A lot of big high school football games. SLU hosting Lift for Life tonight. Could be a pretty good game. SLU has a lot of good kids, a lot of talent on that team, that's for sure. That's a game that we'll certainly be looking forward to see what they're going to get done. Also, you've got Kirkwood, who's 3-1, playing at 4-0 Eureka. That's another really big game in the high school seed. If you guys have another game you want to throw some attention to, do it. Get on here. We'll talk about it. We'll, in a smaller sense, Old Valley Catholic, 4-0 at Caruthersville. They're 4-0. That's another very interesting matchup that's going on tonight. Pattonville's over at undefeated Lafayette, who's 4-0. Fort Zumwalt West hosting Francis Howell. That's a big rivalry game as well. So like I said, you see a lot of those games going on. And of course, we're the network for the East St. Louis Flyers tonight at 7:00 in conference game. They start conference play against Belleville West. So definitely like to promote all of the positivity that we can with high school football and everything that's coming on from that standpoint. If you want to give a shout out to a business, if you want to do any of those things, as we said, let us know right now. Now is the time. Just jump in on the chat line. You can do that at YouTube. Once again, that's YouTube. Or you can do it, once again, when it comes to X. We're on X as well. You can find us there. And we'll get your comments out there. So I've got producer Ryan alongside. He helps me look to make sure we're not missing comments on YouTube. I'm checking X. We'll be on Facebook very soon as well. And yes, Ryan, that's the time. Yeah, but we'll get them before that, like right before then as well. So we've got Ryder Cup that's going on right now as well, and that's starting to heat up. Very interesting play for the Americans. They came right out of the gate, putting two of their best golfers, at least in this play, out there first. Justin Thomas and Bryson DeChambeau came out first. They're one up through 5 holes. Scotty Scheffler and Russell Henley through 4. Russell Henley and Scotty Scheffler are actually down. They're down a hole, or they're down 1 to Matt Fitzpatrick and Ludwig Aberg. And then Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood are 1 up on an American team through 2 holes. And then Patrick Cantley, Xander Schauffele are tied with Victor Hovland and Robert McIntyre through 1 hole. So Ryder Cup beginning out at Bethpage Black. Big weekend there. President of the United States is going to be out at Bethpage Black today. Show support for the American golfers. They're in Farmingdale, New York. We told you how expensive the drinks were yesterday. About $16 for a 16-ounce beer. The specialty cocktails a little bit more expensive. Yeah, so things are pretty darn expensive. It is what it is. 7:17 is the time. It's September 26th. It is Friday. Anything else you guys want to jump in and talk about? You just let us know. We'll cover those stories and all things that are happening when it comes to St. Louis. One of the news stories that we had talked about earlier, or at least I brought up with my guy Rye here, is, and it's a Friday, it's a little for all, and these foods all throughout the St. Louis area. The 15, and there's 15 of them, fast food places that are, I don't want to say dying, but are struggling, at least when it comes to financials, on where they used to be and where they are now. I asked Rye, I said, who did Jared represent? He goes, dude, he's like, Subway does seem like it's, and I'm not trying to hurt anybody. It's a report that came out on MSN when it came to what's happening in the fast food industry and who is struggling, who is not doing as well as they once did. And Subway was at the top of their list. So when we talk about that, they used to be massive and the stores were crowded. Allegedly, that's not the case anymore. Competitors started to come into the mix, like Jersey Mike's, who, by the way, is allegedly doing pretty well. And they kind of, they took the headlines when it came to the freshness halo. We are the freshness place. And then in 2024, Work Capital bought the brand, signaling that they were going to change things with Subway. But here's what they say allegedly in their report. Too many locations, not enough compelling reasons to choose Subway over rivals. Recent ownership change raises expectations, and execution is everything. So Subway, and you said that you saw that yourself.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of restaurants, because I was going to school in Des Moines, Iowa. I don't think there should be that many Subways.
Shout out to Drake University.
Yeah, shout out Drake University. But I don't know why there were so many Subways just around. And they were like, they weren't even corporate either. They were just people who just like owned their own Subway, and the customer service was terrible. I think Jimmy John's is way better, and I don't even.
Well, the people that I know of Jimmy John's,
yeah, the bread is. So...
You know what? I wasn't a big fan of the bread.
What?
Yeah, I know something's wrong with me. That's all right. That's all right, dude. That's all right. There's a variety of issues. I am the way that I am. I'm sorry about that. But I found many more people who love the bread.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. People are different. Also on the list, besides some Pizza Hut.
I can see that.
The headline is out marketed and outmaneuvered. But when's the last time somebody had Pizza Hut? Seriously, when?
Now that I think about it, I haven't had Pizza Hut in a minute. I got Domino's.
They doubled down on stuffed crust nostalgia. By the way, this is Friday, and that's why we're here. Kind of a free-for-all Friday show. They wanted to sell the crust nostalgia, and it didn't work. They doubled down on it. And they tried the first app-driven stuff that Domino's owns. Domino's owns it. Didn't work. It had the NFL's official pizza deal for a while after Papa John's lost it, but sponsorship alone isn't fixing their momentum. So they say that Pizza Hut is struggling a bit. Next up,
Hardee's.
Papa John's.
Oh yeah, Papa John's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't eat Papa John's.
Papa John's, yeah.
I hope Domino's is.
They
on
had
the
some
list.
public controversies, some political things that really hurt them, and then it hurt money. So they didn't have the investment. So that became an issue for them as well. Rebuilding trust can take a little bit longer. Ask Bud Light. Ask Bud Light what happens. That's what happened with Bud Light. And all of a sudden, Michelob Ultra, boom, out of nowhere. We're the number one selling beer in America now because lower calorie beer is still wanted by Americans, regardless if it doesn't taste as well. Here's one, the whole concept. The drive-in food. Sonic.
I was just at the barbershop yesterday and somebody DoorDash Sonic. And they were saying that Sonic
They
is good.
DoorDash Sonic?
Yeah, they DoorDash Sonic.
Well, Americans are not into the concept of going and sitting at Sonic anymore.
That makes sense.
And that's kind of hurt where they are from that standpoint. Because health is an issue. And so Sonic has faced declining sales. And they've been trying to do what they can. But the whole concept is not working right now at Sonic. I know.
It's kind of out of their time now.
How about Jack in the Box?
What?
Yeah, they have a history of surviving over expansion, they said, and even some scandals. But they said the recent quarterly report showed that traffic has declined despite some price moves. And re-imaging plans are trying to convince franchises to spend pays back with Del Taco in the portfolio now. So they've got Del Taco as well, but they've got some financial issues that they're trying to take care of right now.
Dang.
I know.
It was like Jack in the Box was my last little crazy meal splurge I would eat before I started working out.
Well, my son loves Noodles and Company. They're on this list, but Noodles and Company is not what they once were as well. They said that their menu refreshes to counter low carb trends, but then a new wave of closures hit them in 2025. So allegedly their turnaround depends on tighter operations. So, and locations that justify the high rent that they're paying, because you see a lot of the noodles companies in strip malls.
Or, yeah, now that I think about it, yeah.
Where's Quiznos?
I don't know what that is.
That's on case. There's your case. So Quiznos was a sandwich shop.
Quiznos?
Yeah, they toasted the subs. You don't remember Quiznos?
Doesn't everybody toast their subs?
No. Well, I mean, no. That's.
What is?
I love talking with you.
Quiznos?
Yes, they cornered the market. That's when they first became popular. There's got to be a Quiznos around St. Louis somewhere. Come on. Anyway, they're another company. You're like, what's Quiznos? Steak and Shake is also on there. They've had a radical shift though. They were struggling, and they're
Steak and Shake.
Yeah, they're trying to come back. Quiznos, what's that? It used to be popular. That's why they're on the list, my friend. Because of that.
There's one in Edwardsville.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's closed.
Oh,
well,
of course.
Oh wait, never mind. It
opens. It opens a little bit later. The final one that I'll get into from this standpoint, just because it's a little fun talking about it. Qdoba was on the list. Now I like Qdoba, but here's why. Yeah,
I've had Qdoba twice this week.
Okay, but these are just from a financial standpoint at their corporate levels and what they're doing. because guess who's dominating them right now?
Chipotle. Probably.
Chipotle.
Yeah.
Chipotle's number one in that side of it. Now, I like the meats better at Chipotle than I do Qdoba, but I like the salsa or the flavorings better at Qdoba than I do at Chipotle.
That makes sense. Also,
But my kids who are younger adult kids are like, Dad, you're nuts. You're crazy again.
Yeah, because Qdoba, it depends on where you get it. Because the Qdoba here in Kirkwood is good, but when I go to SLU, it's terrible.
Well, Qdoba's free guac edge.
Yeah.
That was a big
And
deal.
queso.
But it's not winning it anymore. They said that they need operational sharpness, smarter franchising, and some menu hits that travel well. I know, man.
That's shocking. I had that twice this week.
Well, it's all right. You can. It's all good.
I'll keep them in business.
Yeah, there you go. Hey guys, jump in on the show if you want to. Having some fun with that. It's a free for all Friday. All things St. Louis all the time. Talking about those fast food restaurants that are in the St. Louis area. That's how we talk about it. Places that you may go to, just like Rye was talking about, including myself. September 26th, that's Friday. Getting you started as we do in St. Louis every morning, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. And of course, after us is Hot Take Central 2.0 with the former Blue Cam Jansen and Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. They take you from 8 to 10 o'clock. And then today and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it's MIZ STL show with Grant Salzman. I join him on Mondays. All things Mizzou all the time. The content is terrific. The guests are terrific. And of course, that's always an entertaining show as well to jump in and check out. For the rest of the list of the shows, you can go to luinfo.com, all the programming that we offer all throughout the day. Not only the shows that we do live, but the podcast content as well. That is pumped full on the website to go ahead and check that out as well. We're here till just before 8 o'clock today. We'll be talking with Steve Shankman from Evolution Fest coming up. I don't know, in about 14 minutes or so, something like that, to promote the big weekend of music that we have over in the Forest Park area. Also, it's Mizzou Homecoming. We'll talk about that when we come back as well. Anything else that you guys want to do, jump on in. You can join us on X at Arch City Now. You can also jump in on YouTube at Arch City Now. All of those things happening for you right there. Show rocking and rolling. We're moving fast. It should be a terrific weekend of weather, as we were talking about. We are now into the 80s and sunshine for about the next 8 days. So if you like it, great. If you don't, I'm sorry. Fall will show up at some point in time. Although we always talk about, you hear people say, well, we just went straight from summer to winter. Where was our fall? Enjoy these mornings. Should be a terrific day as well. We're getting you caught up with all of that. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll do those interviews. We'll get anything else that you guys want to jump into. We appreciate you watching and listening to us. We are Arch City Now. We are your Lou information station. We are live and on demand at luinfo.com. It's a Friday morning. Let's get this day started right and have a terrific weekend. We'll be back with more right after this. Hope you guys are ready to have a great day. We're here. We're ready to rock and roll. Producer Ryan alongside. This is Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust. If you want to give us a call, you can do so. The phone number is 855-282-8255. Once again, that is 855-282-8255. You can also watch us live and jump in on the live chat. You can talk with us, talk with others. You can do that on X and on YouTube right now. X and YouTube. That is at Arch City Now. If you want to promote anything, let us know what's happening this weekend. If there's an event, charity, people, business, whatever the case, we are all about St. Louis all the time and the national stories that obviously St. Louisans are talking about. What the water cooler talk is, what's happening in your area, your town, your life, what plans you might have for the weekend. We talked about Mizzou homecomings going on this weekend. Big game. Well, it's not a big game. It's a big weekend. They play UMass. They're only favored by like 70, something like that. You've got the Cubs in Chicago for, unfortunately, a kind of uneventful weekend series, if you even know that that's going on. High school football last night in the area. Ladue were big winners. They had a big win over Hazelwood West. Parkway North got right past Hazelwood East in a great game. Some big games tonight as well that are going on. Kirkwood playing over Kirkwood, 1 loss. Eureka's undefeated. East St. Louis back to action. You can listen to that game right here. We are your station for East St. Louis Flyers football. Just a lot of really good games. If you want to promote, jump in. That's cool as well. You can do that. We appreciate that. Also, Ryder Cup action going on this weekend. Not so great early on this morning. Justin Thomas and Bryson DeChambeau are 1 up through 6 holes, but then Scotty Scheffler and Russell Hindley are down 2 through 5. Yeah, Harris English and Colin Morikawa down 2 holes through 4. So not so great. At least Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele 1 up right now through 3 holes. Those are some of the things that are going on. Go to the call lines. We take your calls to talk about issues. 855-282-8255. Good morning on a Friday. You're on with Arch City Now. What's on your mind?
Is this Big Faust?
Where's this conversation going?
Oh, I was just asking you a question. Is this Big Faust?
Yes, sir.
Oh, how you doing? Now, I want to ask you a question there. Do you think with this Metrolink and all the promises of Metrolink promising, more expanded Metrolink services, with this recent cutback, do you think that's going to affect people, affected for jobs? Like, how do people get around?
What is your thought on it, first of all?
Well, I mean, they've been saying this for years that they're going to expand here, there, and first they were supposed to go to St. Charles, and they voted that down. So I just don't understand what is the plan for having Metro Transit in this area, region, or whatever. If a lot of these municipalities just don't want it in their neighborhood, or they lack funding, or
what's your name, sir?
My name is John.
John,
I listen to your show.
John, I tell you right now, I couldn't disagree with you. I mean, I could not disagree with you. When it comes to a plan, St. Charles County is never going to have Metrolink come in. Let's just be real. I've talked to people in St. Charles County off the record. It's not going to St. Charles County. It's not going anytime soon. The unfortunate thing is Metrolink still has, and I talk about this all the time, the same problem that St. Louis City has for businesses outside of this area. Perception is reality. When I'm downtown, do I feel safe? Yeah, I do. But businesses aren't coming to St. Louis, and Metrolink is not going to be expanding to a lot of these places that they want to. They're just not. And here's the other thing. I did not realize how many people, there are people who rely on Metrolink, and there are people who rely on Metrolink who aren't causing problems. But unfortunately, there have been problems, and there are communities that don't want Metrolink. And I talk it and I bring it straight up. There are people who still say and believe that Metrolink coming through the Galleria area in Brentwood was an issue and a problem. These are things that people won't talk about, but I will. I still don't know what their plans are. It doesn't make sense to me, and it sounds like it doesn't make sense to you.
Yeah, but the thing is, this area is really, falling behind mid-major cities
of course.
that are used to be.
And then you got the light rail. I mean, you've got the rail system as well that's been put on hold, and the NAACP of St. Louis now talking about it, hoping that it could be put on hold maybe for a couple of years. because they want more federal money to come into the St. Louis area. And they think maybe if there's a Democratic president in office or Congress, that St. Louis may get some more money to put something like that forward. But right now, it's stagnant.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching a show on CBS about Akron, Ohio, and their system is light years ahead of
I haven't seen
Missouri
it.
as far as
Yeah,
Akron, Ohio.
there's a lot of
They have
things
one
that
at a
frustrate
time.
me about politics, and this is a political issue. It's a political issue,
Yeah.
which frustrate me. But I appreciate you calling.
All right, but do you ever think that these regional leaders will ever be on the same page, or are they just going to go just kind of carve up St. Louis to what they want, and we'll just be falling way behind other cities in the next 10 years? All right, thanks.
You got it. I'm hopeful. I'm positive. But what I see right now, I don't see any of that happening. But I know it can happen. I spent 11 years of my life in Detroit, and I watched city and basically county areas working together for the betterment of the city of Detroit. They hit rock bottom in 2008. And it's amazing what has happened in Detroit. It really is. Do I have hopes of that happening in the St. Louis area? Yeah. Do I see it happening right now? No, I don't, unfortunately. This is Arch City Now. We appreciate it. We take your phone calls as well. 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. You can jump in on YouTube. You can also jump in on X. We appreciate it when you guys jump in on the show. It's a free-for-all Friday, not just St. Louis topics, but fun things as well. Did you know that September is Take a Man Out on a Date month? September is Take a Man Out on a Date month, where women are supposed to spend $250 to $500 on a date. It's kind of a payback. Crickets. So try this out with your lady. Let me know how it goes. But men, we finally get a day or a weekend. National Take a Man Out on a Date month. It almost reminds me of one of the Anheuser-Busch commercials, The Real Men of Genius. It could be Real Men of Genius. It is you. You deserve your National Take a Man Out on a Date month. Women spending $250, $500 on their man. This isn't going to happen. And you probably haven't heard about this because it's not happening anywhere, but it is Take a Man on a Date month. Real quick, too, before we talk with Steve Shankman, how about this, speaking of dating? LSU head football coach Lane Kiffin has a daughter. They've been very public on social media. She is now dating and has gone Instagram public with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend happens to be All-American linebacker Whit Weeks of LSU, who they play this weekend. So Lane Kiffin is game planning, and his literally his offense game planning to slow down Whit Weeks, who is dating his daughter. The storylines are fantastic. Only in the SEC, only with Lane Kiffin, who, by the way, does these social media posts with his daughter. I find him hilarious. I like him. It's just all bizarre.
How did they meet though? Just at an SEC
You never
football
know.
game?
Who knows? I don't know about that, but everybody knows everybody because of social media now.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, coming up in a few minutes, we'll be here. We'll be talking with Steve Shankman. We'll be promoting Evolution Fest. We'll get him on the phone. But Lane Kiffin and his daughter and Whit Weeks. I don't know which is more bizarre, that happening or you asking your lady, hey, it's National Take Your Man Out on a Date in September, where you're supposed to spend $250 to $500 on me. I'm all game. Yeah. You could go to Evolution Fest. That's for sure. You can get your lady to take you to Evolution Fest if you don't have your tickets yet, which will be going on this weekend. Lane Kiffin's daughter, Ole Miss, they're underdogs taking on LSU coming up this weekend. We are Arch City Now. Once again, the phone number if you want to give us a call, 855-282-8255. Probably better to check in on YouTube as we're getting ready to have our guest, but YouTube, you can jump in. You can jump in on X as well. We appreciate you guys being a part of the show with us as we bring you all St. Louis all the time, Monday through Friday, right here on Arch City Now. Got a couple of private comments. Yeah, Vic, you let us know how it goes for you as well when it comes to telling your ladies that they need to take you out on a date because it's your month. Yeah, I don't think I'm even going to go there. Probably better not. All right, let's talk things over with the one and only Steve Shankman of the Evolution Fest. Steve, thanks for taking time to join us. What a big weekend. Well, you got the weather you wanted. It couldn't be any better. And now it's time for a weekend full of music. Congrats. Happy Friday.
Hey, thanks so much. Yeah, the weather is perfect. Dave Murray, our good weatherman, is once again right on the game today for a great weather weekend today, tomorrow, Sunday, even all next week. So people can really come out this weekend and enjoy the fest.
Well, Dave's the best that's ever done it when it comes to that. You're one of the best that's ever done it when it comes to putting these acts together. Is there any way to even let people know how much work goes into getting so many groups, organizing them, where you guys have constant music for 2 straight days on 3 different stages where it doesn't stop? I still can't believe this concept was even possible.
Well, Jeff Jarrett's been my partner now we've been together over 20-something years. And even back in the day when, Contemporary started back in the, late 60s and 70s, we've always had great relationships with all the agencies. I mean, we've booked somewhere around 20,000 concerts in the last 50 years, probably about a fourth of those here in St. Louis. So, by building Riverport and, working on the Factory and Pageant and all these great venues that we have here in St. Louis, we're able to always stay at the top of the list for all the agencies and the managers. We have these great relationships with many managers. It's not just a matter of, calling up and saying, hey, is Lenny Kravitz available? And they work hard for us because there's a lot of other festivals. So St. Louis is very lucky to have Contemporary here and to have the kind of people that can put these things together, especially when you get into all these different genres. And Jeff's great at that. I mean, we have everything from country with Maggie Rose to Lenny to Sublime to Public Enemy, and then moving on with so many other acts that'll be playing during the day, during the evening hours. St. Louis Magazine Online did a great article about all the younger bands that'll be playing on the show earlier in the day. And there's some bands that I got to see. I mean, things that I didn't even know about that we'll be able to see this year. Lots of surprises.
We're talking with Steve Shankman of the Evolution Festival. You can go to evolutionfestival.com. Once again, it's evolutionfestival.com. I'm sure you've heard of this massive event that's going on. If you haven't, just go to the website. You can buy your tickets. You can also donate to the Evolution Festival as well. I mean, Steve was just talking about some of the acts tomorrow. Sublime is the headliner Saturday. Lenny Kravitz, the headliner Sunday. Sam Fender, Public Enemy, The Hives, The Kills. I mean, all kinds of groups. That's tomorrow. The Velveteers, McKinley James, just to get into a few of the groups that are Sunday. Father John Misty, TLC, Marcus King Band, Maggie Rose, Cutworms, all kinds of bands all over the place. Passes are on sale right now. And the other thing that I wanted to hit on, it's not just an opportunity for people to have fun, enjoy music, support St. Louis, go to a terrific venue, 3 stages, be a part of something they may not be a part of again. But you guys are giving so much money back to the United Way. If you could tell why and what's happening.
Well, what happened on May 16th was all obviously devastating. Not only the park and Lindell Boulevard, but North St. Louis. I mean, really horrible. I drove down the day after the tornado, and my wife Katie and I said, we got to do something. Evolution, you're right. We do accept donations. We're a 501c3. A lot of companies and foundations and friends have donated, and I thank all of them immensely. But we had to do something, so we decided to go talk with United Way, and we were able to put together that all net profits from the sale of everything at the festival, from the parking to the tickets, the passes, as you said, the merchandise, food, all of that net profits will go to United Way, and we will give them a minimum of $100,000 on Sunday night on stage with Kara Spence and other dignitaries that will be at the show that night. Listen, we're a St. Louis company. We're not coming in from out of town. We're not the big, Live Nations and AEGs. We've been here. We started here. We've stayed here. We live here. The biggest thing I'm asking the public to do is show up. We got food vendors. We got Wally's. We got Sugar Fire. We got vendors from around the country that come into this festival that travel all the festivals. We got great entertainment on 3 stages, as you mentioned. We got great beverages. Our VIP areas are all basically sold out. The cabanas are sold out thanks to corporate St. Louis. The Evolution Club, there's still some tickets available. That's a great experience on the stage right and here from the audience, and you can see from a giant platform 4 feet in the air, you're looking straight onto the stage. Plus, the club has all kinds of other amenities. So we just want the general public, buy that $150 ticket. You come, you got 30 great acts. You got 20 hours of music. Parking's available in the upper Muni lot. You can buy a parking pass. We need the turnout because the acts, if they don't see a lot of people, why do they want to come to St. Louis? That's why concerts have to do well. And we've been doing well in St. Louis. New places have opened up like the Sovereign and the Factory a few years ago. But we really need people, and today is the day. Buy your tickets. The box office is open at Langenberg Field next to the tennis courts on the north side of Forest Park by the History Museum. Box office from 10 to 6. Cindy's there. She'll be happy to sell you a ticket. Get it in advance. There won't be long lines. It's never so crowded that you can't get right in. But if you don't buy the tickets and support these artists, we can't guarantee they'll keep coming through St. Louis. So that's all we're asking the public to do.
Well, Steve, when I get off the show in the next hour here, I'll get my tickets. I hadn't purchased any yet. Just love what you're doing for St. Louis. It makes so much sense. I do have to ask, as a man who loves music and has been around it his whole life, is there anybody you're looking forward to seeing more so than anybody? And I know everybody has their own genre, but anybody you're looking forward to trying to catch up and see, and for whatever reason?
Well, obviously Lenny Kravitz. I mean, iconic, Grammy Award winner, unbelievable musician. Every show he's ever done has been great. We've been getting the reports from his tour right now. Obviously Sublime. I haven't seen the artist since the lead singer passed away, but his son was, I think it was the Today Show or Good Morning America last week. Sam Fender. He sold out Wembley Stadium a couple months ago. 75,000. 75,000. He's like Bruce Springsteen is in this country, in UK. So you're going to miss him. Well, you'll be oh my God, I could have saw him the first time he came to St. Louis. Like people tell me, I saw Yes the first time they came to St. Louis and played Roundabout. I saw members like Palmer the first time they were here. I saw REO Speedwagon at Super Jam. Don't miss Sam Fender. Now, some of these other bands, Hacienda from Texas, yes, can't wait to see them. Maggie Rose, good friend, country singer, Grammy nominated. Want to see her. But, I mean, Public Enemy, I can't wait. I mean, I haven't seen them in a long time. I want to see Flavor, Outflav. I want to see all those guys that you grew up with. These, like when Ice Cube was here a couple of years ago. Like TV, movies. These are big acts. You may say, yeah, there's only a couple acts I really want to see, so I don't want to go. This is like what it says, it's going to rain out tomorrow. Oh, we're going to go to dinner. Maybe we'll stay home. St. Louis, wake up, just like I did this morning for you, Vic, and get your tickets. Go online. It's easy to buy. Plenty of general admission tickets. Plenty of VIP tickets left. Don't be surprised if there's a little bit of a line today for people buying tickets. The weather is always the most important. This is the best we've had in 3 years. A lot of the festivals this September, especially my friends at the Balloon Festival, weren't able to launch. The Taste Festival, my band, the Motown Review, played that in Clayton. It was 97 degrees. We had it was a hot humidity for other festivals. This one is going on. The bands are arriving. The stages are up. We could put this show on this afternoon if we had to. I got a tremendous crew working. And my big thanks to the media. You guys have been on it, Vic, and all the other stations and TV stations. I mean, it's on the news. It's on the weather. Everybody's pushing, but it takes the ticket buyer. Don't sit home and say, I wish I could have gone. I should have gone. Oh, I have to be somewhere at 3 o'clock. Open at 1 o'clock, but you don't have to get there till 3 or 4 o'clock. I mean, you don't have to come right when the doors open, and you got all morning to do all those errands, take care of the kids. And, listen, we have kids come to the festival too. So buy your passes, support this. This is important. I've been doing this over 50 years in St. Louis, and we've seen a little bit of a fall off of people making that ticket buy. And there's lots of reasons, and I understand it. but this one's really important. Thanks, Vic, for thinking about us and talking to us this morning. We appreciate it.
Steve Shankman, evolutionfestival.com. Get your tickets, Steve. Thanks. You still have your voice. I hope you have your voice by Monday. Enjoy it. Enjoy all the work and seeing all this come to fruition this weekend. Have a great weekend, my friend. Maybe we'll see you out there.
Oh, I hope so. Thanks again to your fans, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, Steve Shankman, Evolution Festival. I mean, think about all of the bands and the groups when he breaks it down in regards to who's going to be here. Big weekend for St. Louis when it comes to music. And speaking of music, if you haven't yet, go to luinfo.com and check out Sounds of STL. It's a show that's produced here by Tony Patrico, second to none when it comes to music in the St. Louis area. Once again, Sounds of STL, Tony Patrico. Check it out. Fantastic programming, especially when we talk about music in St. Louis and Evolution Festival and the things that are happening here this weekend. It's another example of what we really try to do here when it comes to St. Louis all the time. The stories, the action, you talk about it, jumping in on Facebook, at least we should be maybe by Monday, but X, YouTube, jumping in, calling us when you can as well, 855-282-8255. We're here Monday through Friday, of course, 6 to 8 a.m., bringing you everything when it comes to St. Louis. Boy, oh boy, I tell you, it's fast. 2 hours gone just like that. Broadcasting live from the J. Randolph Studios in Kirkwood. Beautiful weekend, as Steve was just talking about. Lots going on this weekend. Of course, we're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Producer Ryan, good week here, my friend in studio. Appreciate your help.
No problem. Only going to get better.
Only going to get better. Onward and up from here. We start the day out keeping things positive, promoting St. Louis as it should be done. Check out all of our programming at luinfo.com. Guys, have a great weekend. For producer Ryan, I'm Vic Faust. We are your Lou Information Station, live and on demand at luinfo.com. That does it for this Friday show of Arch City Now. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday at 6 a.m.
STL Sports Central is St. Louis's first all-digital sports network.